Here's the start of episode 3, and due to a little stuff, I've already played my card, a Recon Enforce, where I'm playing a Portuguese light on the right flank, the foot artillery in the center, and I'm finally starting to ford the river there with my British line. So it's tight game, 3 banners to 3 banners. So I wanted to try and relieve a little bit of pressure here in the middle with my foot artillery over my 2 weakened British units, which I fear are about to come under attack. So I've already moved over here. So he actually he might have someone to shoot at from the ford. Let's see. Let's check the terrain chart and the river to see if that's even doable. Terrain, fordable river. Infantry firing out, -1. So my British line, I'll just show this for all the viewers at home. Line moving half die per block round up. Do I get an extra one? Uh, and a +1 for the, oh no, not for the line when the line's moving. The light does, the rifle light, the grenadier, and the guard grenadier. The line does get an extra one when they're standing, but my guy moved. So that would be 2 -1 or 1 firing at my target here. So that would be 1 dice. We'll do that. A retreat. So I would assume the cavalry there would retreat so that he's astride both flanks. So he's then done. Now we'll go to the center. My foot artillery will target the French line. We're looking for a big shot here. This would be 4 dice. Oh, and before I do that, I just realized a little newbie mistake here. Mark and I are usually pretty good with this, as long as we haven't moved on. Um, so I will play superb infantry training. And ordered infantry units ranged combat die are not reduced when it moves, which would mean I would get to add um, 2 more dice to that attack. So I'll just do 2 more dice and we'll see if it would have added a hit. Um, no, nothing, no effect. So kind of burning a tactics card. So nevertheless, so now we're back to the attack here for 4 dice with the foot artillery against the French line. Here we go, big shot required, and we hope. 2 hits and a saber. So we did get him, unless, of course, the vaunted first strike was played. So we'll go ahead and assume that that's not the case, and we'll collect that banner. And then finally, my Portuguese light will take a shot at the cavalry because it's not melee. He can't do reform and retire. Um, so he was just moving. He's firing out of the woods. I just want to see if that affects the terrain. Forest into the woods, but infantry out of the woods is 0. So no effect. That happened earlier in our game, in our previous game, where my artillery was firing out of the woods and suffered, but I'd forgotten that. So that would be 3 Portuguese. I do not believe benefits the light. Oh no, when they're not moving, they get a +1. So that would be 4 dice against the target here of the French cavalry. So actually, if I get a big roll here with 4 dice, I might win the game. We would, unless there was a first strike. So here we go, 4 dice. And one of those, it's the wrong target. I'm firing at cavalry. We got 2 infantry, a flag, and an artillery. So that would do a retreat. That's the only place to retreat on top of the hill. So that will dispense with the card. That dispenses with the last firing. So I can end my turn standard. Let's see. I will put in turn standard, draw command card, and up we go with a bombard. So that'll be good for the next turn. So with that, I will turn it over to Mark.
After Doug's turn there, where he took the lead, he has 4 flags and only needs one more flag to clinch victory compared to the French, who have 3 flags. But it is the French turn. Oh, one little thing. It seems like Doug had a bit of finger trouble and deducted one strength point from my light cavalry on the left here. So I will recover that, and they're back to 3 as they were, as they should be. So, quick look at my cards. Yes, as we saw on my last turn, running out of cards to play in the center, but I do have Fire and Hold, so that is the card that will be played. I'll find my cards here and play Fire and Hold. So what Fire and Hold allows me to do is to select up to 4 infantry and artillery artillery pieces, and they will combat with 1 additional die in ranged fire. Cannot be used for any melee. So I have this one will not be, light cavalry will not be ordered. The line infantry here will be ordered. The foot artillery here will be ordered. And any units that are ordered cannot move. So I can't, for example, order the light infantry here and just move it closer. It has to be able to. It is held stationary and has to be able to fire. So those are the 2. And we will start off with the light infantry, the line infantry, not the light infantry, the line infantry. Will attack the line infantry, the British line infantry in square here. So line infantry, French line infantry in ranged fire do not get any bonus, so it's 4 dice. But the good news for them is that the line infantry in square here cannot retreat. So if I do get a flag or an infantry symbol, it will count as a hit. Here we go with 4 dice. There we go. That will do it. So the unit takes a hit. Good news for Doug is that he can recover his card, which was being held, and that can return to his hand. The better news for the French is that they have achieved 4 flags, and so now have they are victorious over the series of 2 battles. Even if they don't win this battle, they will be victorious over the series. But let's see if we can clinch it. The foot artillery here will now fire, and oh, I'm sorry, I did make a mistake on here. I should have had 5 dice because I get +1 additional dice for the card. However, it wasn't needed, so I won't go back and re-roll that one. So, but the foot artillery here will be firing with 4, 3, 2 dice +1 additional for the card. So that is 3 dice, and then a quick look at the train. Yeah, I think there's one. They lose 1 dice into the woods, so it'll be 2 +1 for the card, -1 for the woods, so 2 dice overall. So here we go with 2 dice, and that was unfortunate. Did not manage to clinch another victory, a back-to-back victory, but as I said, overall victory is secured. So we will end, and no tactics card are drawn at the end of this one or anything special, so we will just end turn standard. And let's see what we get. And the card we drew, Give Them the Cold Steel, which is a very powerful card if you happen to have units adjacent to other units. Unfortunately, in this particular battle, that is not the case, at this point anyway. So with that, it is back to Doug.
Well, here we sit in a desperate situation. I'll reveal my cards to you viewers at home. My, I don't have many many options. I sit there with a one figure unit, my line British, in the middle with the leader in the woods within range of his foot artillery and not too far away from some other units that could get there and do ranged fire. Um, so the only shot I've got, and we're tied 4 banners to 4 banners, although Mark has already won the series, which is a cool feature of Command and Colors generally. The games are so straightforward and simple and accessible. You can play them in about an hour face to face and then switch sides and play again and keep a cumulative score, kind of like in European soccer. So the only hope I have would be to kill a unit. And so I think what I'm going to do is play Bombard, which I do have a British artillery unit here. He has a light infantry out in the field. So that would be 4, 3, 2 dice plus an additional 2 dice on the card. So if I got really lucky rolling 4 dice, theoretically, I could eliminate his unit and win the game before he has an opportunity to beat me. So that's what we'll do. Um, so I played Bombard, issue an order to 4 or fewer artillery units. Ordered units may move up to 3 hexes and not battle, or may not move and battle with 2 additional die. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to order the foot artillery in the middle and the horse artillery over to the side. We'll move the horse artillery on the odd chance that, you know what, I don't win the game here, and then he doesn't win the game on his subsequent turn. So we'll mark it as an attacker. We will mark the target. I'll type in the chat 4 dice, and here we go with the roll. 2 hits. So that's not bad. Rolling 4 dice and to get 2 hits, 50% rate. I'm generally happy with that. It's kind of like in golf, hitting it 100 yards, 120 yards straight, you're going to play bogey golf. If you can get a 50% hit rate every single roll of the dice in combat in Command and Colors, you're not going to do too bad. You're going to be close to most games. And right here, I am close. So let me take those 2 hits. 1, 2, and I do get a 1/6 chance of a leader check. That might be another way I could win. So we'll see. Only 16% chance. No, the leader passed. So I think he can stay put. So that's it. So I will show you my cards and turn standard. I draw up. They gave me 2 cards for some reason. I'm not sure why. Um, oh, I know why. Well, actually, I'm not sure why. Maybe Mark can figure that out, but I think Mark's going to render it moot anyway. So there we go.
Well, that was quite the artillery barrage from Doug, and if my leader had gone down there, that would have been the end of the game, as we are both tied with 4 flags each and one more flag. Whoever gets the next flag wins the game. Let's have a look at my cards to see if I can accomplish this goal. Well, still nothing much happening in the middle. I'm going to try and play. Well, I'm going to play the take command any section there. So we'll play that card and activate Delaboard and these 2 units in adjacent linked hexes, contiguous hexes. And that's going to be it. We'll move the line infantry forward 1. Delaboard himself will move forward and join the line, and the cavalry will try and charge into the woods. Cavalry charging into the woods, as you can see here, into the forest, have a -2 die, so it's not going to be that effective. But the question is, what will Doug do? It will be -2 dice, so it will still be 1 dice. But if Doug goes into square, then he gets to battle first. And then, of course, the infantry here will be following up with just 2 dice minus 1 into wood, so they also only have 1 dice. So this might not be the end of it, but we'll see. Now we have to go back to Doug to see whether he is going to form a square. Okay, Doug has elected to go into square in the woods, so the light cavalry will not, well, the infantry rather, will attack first with 1 flag. It's 1 flag out of the woods, and the fortunately for the infantry, they do not get to. There is no reduction in their firepower when firing out of the woods. Infantry out 0, so they still fire with 1 dice. So this is the line infantry attacking the light cavalry, and they get a infantry hit, so no effect. And the good news for me, the good news for the French is there's no bounce flag, so the light cavalry do get to fire back again with only 1 dice, but because it's actually into the woods at -2, there is no attack. So that's the end of the attack, but the British will have to randomly select one of their cards and hold it hold it out of their hand while they remain in square. So, moving on to the line infantry here, they normally would fire at 2 dice, 4 dice rather, but they move, so it's 2 dice -1 because it's into the wood, so a mere 1 dice. And here we go. It's a miss. So the game carries on, and we will see at least one more turn. We will see what card I draw up. And let's see, switching over to the cards. Probe Center. Well, it's good news for me if I do get to play this card, because as we are tied at 4 flags each, the winner, the next person to claim a flag will take victory. So let's see what Doug has up his sleeve, and back as we go back to Doug.
So Mark was unsuccessful in his attempt to eliminate my one figure British line for the win, in that he charged, I squared, although on the map it doesn't show that. That's just a technology glitch. But in the bounce roll that I initiated in his one attack roll, there were no hits incurred. So I've moved my card over, and it's now my turn. Again, last time I used Bombard to try and take a shot at one of his units in an effort to try and win, because I think I got one move left. Because clearly on his next turn, if he has the card in the center, he's going to move his French line up and melee against my infantry in the woods. That's certainly what I would do. And remember, I'm in square. So looking at my cards, I don't, I don't have any cards in the center where I need them. I only have two on the right flank, one on the left flank, and Legrand maneuver, which I can't use to move the square. Um, so I'm kind of in a pickle. Not much to do here. The only thing I can think is this is desperate to try, in a desperate attempt to shelter the line unit, maybe move some Portuguese units in between and offer them as targets and hope for a better card roll. In fact, I think that's what we'll do. So we will play Legrand maneuver, so I can move 4. I'll move all 4 of these Portuguese units. Um, and all right, let's try that. And I won't have any orders. I want to move this light here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. two, three, four. Actually, we'll move the light here. Um, where's that? No, no. He started here. He will go one, two, three. And then this line will go one, two, three, four, eliminating a retreat path for the light cavalry because I've got that foot artillery there. Again, I'm hoping I draw a center card next time. Um, the cavalry, which can move four, would be one, two, three, four. And this last line, one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So what that sets me up for is a possible shot on the light cavalry from here, on the foot artillery from here, and I'm kind of shielding my French line there, recognizing I'm putting at real risk the Portuguese light, but he's got three figures, so I'm hoping for some good die rolls. So I get to draw a tactician's card, um, which doesn't help, and then in the turn, uh, let's see. Let me try that. Draw that command card, and then we will in turn forced. Oh, allies. Oh, in turn forced again. Now it will be the French turn. So there we go.
Okay, and we're back as the French after the Portuguese finally get into the action in a big way, stepping up there and really throwing their bodies in between the Delaborde and the and Wellington there, because this unit here with only one block left, obviously very vulnerable, and that would both sides, both the British and the French. There, I'll show my map a little bit better there. Both the British and the French are one flag away from victory. So the Portuguese have foiled my plans there a little bit to pound Wellesley. Let's have a quick look at my cards. This pro center came up last turn, so I think that is the card for me to draw this time around, and try and finish this out regardless. Shift of tactics, shift of targets rather, from the line infantry here to the light infantry here. So we will activate these two units here. Well, this unit with his leader here and the artillery, and we'll have an attack. The target, of course, will be the infantry, and the foot artillery will join in a combined arms attack. So the French line infantry, 4 plus 1 dice because they are fighting other infantry, so that's 5 dice, and then that's another 3 dice from the foot artillery, so a total of 8 dice total in this attack. Here's hoping that Doug doesn't have a first strike card up his sleeve rather. Here we go, 8 dice. And yeah, so the light infantry cannot retreat, so even flags are treated as hits. So flags, swords, and infantry are deadly to the light infantry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, effectively 6 hits there. So this unit is off the map, and the French have their 5 flags and claim victory. So that was better than I was expecting at the beginning of this battle, but constant pressure by the French in the middle ensured that the British had to respond, and were not able to, until the very end anyway, not able to get their troops in from the flanks. And I'm sure Wellesley will have some stern words with Ferguson after the battle, asking him why his troops were basking by the ford the whole battle while he was being beaten up by the French. But anyway, good game. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back soon with another episode.